Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well today. I am guided by Spirit, and I'm recording this episode on July the 5th, approaching 11 a.m. And I thought, let's start a new series on the channel, and we start looking at relationships, just so we're not always looking at crime and numbers in the negative. Because a lot of you have been asking, what are the positive aspects? So let's start the series. Let's see how it goes. But this will give an opportunity to look at the positive aspects, and that we're not always in the heavy doldrums of crime. Okay, so the inaugural episode, we're going with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And we're going to look at their relationship in relation to their date of births. And then we'll also look at their marriage date. Now, for those that have had personal readings, you will recognize the slide. And I will just do a compatibility test. We'll also look at the issue around the divorce that's going on at the moment. And of course, I'm not going to do the gossip column moments here. I'm going to look at the numbers in relation to what we know as to be the truth, as it were, in the media. And let's have a look. So let's start with Angelina Jolie, born June the 4th, 1975, gives us the 64101. You'll note in the year that she's born, she has a 224. Now, let's focus on her. 224 is an industrious number. So if we look at, on one hand, on a family aspect, the 4 is family. And she's building families and even bringing in orphans. So 2 plus 2 gives us the 4. So this would also say, on one level, in terms of family, is bringing the children together to create a family, even from a past marriage or previous marriage, orphans even. We'll note Angelina has the 10-1 in the day. This is also an industrious number in terms of the building that she'll do, that she's destined to do, because it's in her year that she's born. Power number. This is a calling, and we saw this with Gabby as well. This is a builder. Now, whatever she decides to do in life, she can make it and will make it bigger. Even at times she might not feel she can cope with it, but she can. Bigger, big family, big career. Her career number 6 is the director. 6 is the visionary, vision. 4 is the writing, scripting, and editing. And this 22-4 speaks to projects of scale, like when she does her movies, her own directorial movies, not that she acts in, the ones that she directs. The strength comes from there, 22-4. So in the day, this is who she is, 10-1. She's a team player, and of course, when directing and being part of a group or organizations, it's part of the group. But this is also a very good money number, 10-1. Good money number. So this is who Angelina is in the day. So when people see her, when we see her, what she does, this is who she is here, 10-1, which is an industrious number. That is organizational, large, not small, and of course brings large amounts of money as well. 1 is money. 10-1, big money. So her makeup here she's obviously a life path 5. And of course, there's various ways making up that 5. So the 32-5, and I won't get personal on these, and I do have my guides that will let me know if I'm stepping on lines here. But we are aware of her destructive nature. When she was younger, party girl, having fun, etc. 23-5, building communities. And 14-5 also speaks about groups and communities. So she's got a lot of grouping numbers, 10-1, 14-5, 20 communities. Now the 14-5 also gives her that ability to be import-export, so international, not just local. 4 is local, 5 international. So the combination 14-5 international. Now, life path 5s, they can bring around lots of money. She has the 10-1 here, which compounds this effect here of the 5. So she can bring around good money. But she has this 14-5. And on any level, 14-5 around money, there are some difficulties that come around with money on a daily basis for so she has the life path 5. Now life path 5 is the ambassador, as we know her, like with UNICEF and those guys. The ambassador, the diplomat, the 14-5 attaché. So when we see her doing her global events, this is where she gets it from, yeah. 5 is also the politician. Okay, positive aspects. Now, what I do when I do compatibility tests, and even when you have your own personal reading, I do this sequence here. So I do a forecast. So we'll note, and I'm just making 100% sure, 25, 49. So she's had her birthday already. So now she is currently 49, which gives us the 13-4 outcome. Now, on one hand, when we're looking at the divorce situation here with Brad and Angelina, this is where the divorce is going to happen. The 13-4 is ending things. And you will note, and we'll speak more what else needs to be done here around the 13-4, but in relation to Brad and the current divorce situation, the 13-4, by the time she gets to 50, they would have already been divorced. Okay? Now, you will note that this 13-4 pings on Brad's life path number here, directly on him. So here's the divorce confirmation. And that's why there's, I would say, first let me say this. You will note that she's in a 4-year, he's currently in a 6-year. These guys are not in sync, okay, with each other. They're not in sync with each other. That's one thing. But what I want to note here is, because Angelina's in the 13-4, this is where she is now herself, is directly in relation to Brad Pitt's 13-4. So the focus and heat is coming from Angelina to Brad. Because as we know in the fodder machines, just when we think things are quiet, there's another part of a lawsuit or some other piece of personal information that gets spilled into the public. So 13.4 also speaks about, in the main, spring cleaning. Let's get rid of what we don't need, what's not serving your purpose, 13.4 year. And of course, we can say, in a sense, this is what Angelina's doing. Getting rid of things that are not serving her purpose. So, and then she goes into her 50s. And this 5 pings directly on her life path. So when she gets to her 50th birthday, which will be next year, approaching June, 3 months before the birthday, the energy starts moving over. And this will be her 9-year cycle. She will be reaching her life path number. So in a sense, when she gets to 50, she needs to have all her ducks in a row, make sure everything's sorted out. There's a hidden 14.5 year as well. I'll just put it in now. There's a hidden 14.5 with the 50. And if you add up the years that you're in, and if it gives you a 14, then a 5, just know, if you're in a 14.5 year, let's please take care of paperwork, official paperwork, any administrative, any document deemed legal, from a renewal or a payment or anything, any legal document. When you're in a 14.5 year, let's sort it out, please. And also the 14.5, if you're in a 14.5 year, let's be aware of Mr. Smiley Fox, too good to be true deals, the liar, the bullshitters that approach, trying to sell you things. 14.5 brings around the con man. So in Angelina's case, when she turns 50, there is a hidden 14.5 because it stems from the 13.4 year. So whatever paperwork and documentation gets done between the two of these two, for example, in terms of the divorce situation, in Angelina's case, not Brad's, because she's got the 14.5, she must make 100% sure that the contracts or the deal or whatever the situation is checked, double checked, triple checked before signing. Now, ironically, Brad is currently 60, right? And this is a 6 outcome. Now, 6 talks about family, talks about friends, talks about family, relationships. 6. But the 6 is also talking about connection, 6, connection or disconnection. So it's ironic that she's going through, I'm ending all this nonsense, getting divorced, going different direction, changing my life, not with Brad, for example, and he is also in a disconnecting year in one sense, and also in a connection year because 6 brings around new connections. So they're both going through the split for different reasons. And let me just see here. Yeah, unfortunately, well, for the year of 49 for Angelina, the impact will be on Brad. So Brad, for the next year, he's going to feel the heat. But then the year after that, the focus then becomes on Angelina. But the focus is not coming from Brad, let's be clear, because he doesn't have any 5s here. So the 5s, when it comes around for Angelina, it's about her. It's about her outcome. It's about where she is in life. and what she needs to do to then rebuild her life or add to her life or subtract from her life. Because when she gets to 51.6, there's also, she starts new connections. So, of course, it might take some time for her to deal with whatever, and she's also having to look after all the kids and all that stuff, family stuff. But from 51 onwards, we can expect some connection information. So, now Brad, as mentioned, he's a 60 with a 6-year. And he's actually also on an upward trajectory, whereas Angelina is kind of getting to the middle of the circle, if you will. And then, so I would say from 51 onwards, she would be on an upward trajectory. Whereas Brad is currently in an upward trajectory. We know he's shooting several movies and so on. So, born December 18, 1963 brings us the 12/3/89 and the 19/10/1. Now, the creative genius that we know him, or the creative person, 18/9. The 12/3 in him, and he has double 12/3s, is about design, fashion, the way he presents himself to society, always looking good in the main. Purpose as well, because he is a 4. 4 dress with purpose. So we'll note he has hidden 33s. Now, it's no hidden information. That's why I did a lot of confirmations before doing this show, or even starting the series, because I'm not a gossip channel, right? But the 33 is the party man as we know him. Enjoys his parties with the 33, no harm. But he actually, with all these 3s, he does have a lot of feminine energy around him. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a soft touch for a Marlboro man, let's say, because he's got 44 here, 40 with the outcome 4. That's very male. But what I'm saying is he's got a soft touch. I mean, in most cases when you see him, from my opinion anyway, but just, working in the business, when you look at him, he's soft on the eyes, right, is what I'm getting to. And the 3s bring that softness to him. That's what we see. Unfortunately, when we get to a pressure test, when you look at couples, the 21/3 is where, unfortunately, and we've heard it in the news, I'm not creating nonsense, 21/3 is where he loses control and has control issues. And of course, he also has a power number 22/4. That's an industry number as well. Very strong number. These people with, let me rephrase that, people with power numbers, as I mentioned, have purpose, are here for purpose. And the 13/4s is also about writing, scripting, the author, the writer, the editor in the 4s. And so for his producing numbers, because he's a producer, and whereas Angelina's a director, 6. So he's the producer, 12/3, 12/3, even the 21/3, even the 33 are the producer numbers, with the 4s, because 4s bring in the facts and figures, finances, procedures, processes. So he's a producer numbers here. But he's also got creative ideas. So what can we take from looking at Angelina and Brad? They both have a 22/4. Now I'm going to say immediately that this was a karmic relationship. And the reason for that is whenever you have a number year in the year that you're born, brings around, that's a serious foundational number. That speaks about lineage, disposition, lineage, heritage, past lives. And we picked this up in the Gabby case. So we got 22-4, and we note he has the 22-4 outcome, which tells me Brad would have benefited out of this relationship more than what Angelina would have. Okay. So already there's a karmic link between the two of them. In fact, double so. And like I say, I'm doing this as I go. So he has the 10-1 year. And she has a 10-1 in the day. So then this also tells me she also benefited from his relationship. And she benefited more in the current, like what she does in the day. So in other words, she was married to what's the gentleman's name? I can see his face now. Anyway, so that wasn't exactly, let's say, middle of the road type relationship. So when she progressed and dated and started and got married to Brad, that was like big time for her because of the 10-1 year. So he's got the 10-1 as his foundational number, and she's got the 10-1 in the day. So she benefited, let's just say, from a work profile point of view. So this is a super karmic relationship. Now, why are things going so nasty? We ask ourselves. Of course, some marriages are sorted out easily, some aren't. Now, in this case, there's obviously a business involved, right? The wine farm, etc. And I can tell you now, compared to Angelina and Brad, this 14-5 is going to make life very difficult for Mr. Brad Pitt here. She ain't going to go down with a fight. And I will just say, if she could, she'll also stick it to him some more. Just saying. August 14, 2014 is when they got married. So already we have a hidden 22-4. So obviously people can plan their weddings. It's no mystery. Weddings aren't chosen randomly, right? There's always reasons, and people do whatever suits them from a family relationship point of view and all that kind of thing. So in this relationship, I'm going to say there is a transactional element here. And I'm just seeing this now. So we got an 11-2 marriage, which is about two people coming together, his and hers type situation, right? So already this is a transactional marriage as well. I would say the outcome is a transactional relationship under the law. But let's see who else benefits. So obviously the 14-5 pings on Angelina. And the 22-4 pings on both of them. And the 13-4, of course, Brad there. So it benefits both of them. And we got a planning going on. So it ties in with, these are the rules and regulations of the relationship. There's big emotions involved, yes. They did love each other at some point. There's big emotional number here, which is awesome. There's rules and regulations in the marriage, 13.4, 22.4. But ultimately, it's the union 9 of two people, union 112. But there's rules and regulations in this marriage, in the agreement or the contract. So, in essence, it suits both of them. But ultimately, it's a legal binding document that guards their relationship. So quite a bit clinical. With heart, but the 22.4 reminds us that there's a plan in place here. And we'll then wait to see what happens in the news about their divorce and if things get settled quickly. But I must say, it's never nice when personal stuff gets thrown in the media for everyone to chunk on, right? Or when personal information gets played out in the media. Why can't people just sort it out amicably and quickly? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the inaugural relationship episode. Please let me know what your comments or thoughts are, if I should continue looking at different relationships. And I'll see you the next one. Stay safe. Bye for now.